Okay everyone, so now it's time for exercise 12. For this question, because it related to the concept about reflections, so now I want to have a reflections with you about the reflections. So here you can see I give you the rectangular coordinate plane, okay, and also we have point P. The coordinates for point P is X and Y, okay, it is here. And now we can see for this one, this axis is the X axis, and for this one is the Y axis. So in this time, if we want to reflect, okay, if we want to reflect point P along X axis, okay, so what's the final positions of the reflections, okay? So in this time here you can see this one, okay, this point is the reflections of point P along X axis. So I want you to observe the coordinates, okay. The coordinates of this new point, the X coordinate will not change, okay. It also be X, okay, X. However, for the Y coordinates, we need to give the negative to it, okay. We need to give the negative to it, okay. So it becomes to negative Y. For example, if the coordinates for point P is 3 and 4, okay, so after the reflection along the x-axis, so it becomes to 3 and negative 4. And also if point P is 4 and negative 3, okay, if the coordinates for point P is 4 and negative 3, after the reflections along x coordinates, okay, x axis, so it will becomes to 4 and 3, okay. So the negative becomes to positive, or the positive becomes to negative, and the y coordinates will be changed, okay. And now we move to the reflections along the y-axis, okay, the reflections along the y-axis. So and in this time we also consider, okay, the y-axis is the mirror, okay. The y-axis is just like the mirror, and in the other side of the y-axis, so here we can see the reflections, this point, the reflections of point P along the y-axis, and in this time the x coordinates will be changed. The x coordinates will be changed. It becomes to negative x, okay. The original x should be x, okay. The original x coordinates for point P is x. However, after the reflection, it becomes to negative x, and in this situation, the y coordinates will not change, okay. The y coordinate will not change, okay. So that is the concept that related to the reflections along the x axis or the y axis, okay. So back to our questions, okay. Back to our questions, I want you to look at part A, okay. Part A. For part A, it tells you that if point A is reflected in the x-axis, okay, to point B, okay, so that means point B is the reflections of point A along the x-axis, okay. So it asks you to find the coordinates of B, okay. So in these situations, for point the coordinate, okay, the coordinates of B, okay, becomes to -3 and 4, okay, becomes to -3 and 4. because in these situations the y-axis, okay, the y-axis becomes to positive, okay, so the original one is -4, so in this time it becomes to +4, okay, it becomes to +4. And let's see for part B, okay, if point C is reflected in y-axis to point D, and it asks you to find the coordinates of D. Okay, so let's write it down. Okay, for part B, the coordinate of C are. In these terms, I want you to think about which coordinates will be changed. Okay, that should be the x coordinate. Okay, that should be the x coordinate. And the x coordinate, the original one is +5. So in this case, it becomes to -5. So -5 and 8. Okay, so 如果呢個時候咧，人哋係叫你咧係沿住呢一個 x axis 咧係轉嘅話咧，咁我哋咧變嘅咧就係呢一個 y。OK，y coordinate。如果依家咧係由呢一個 y axis 咧去反射去做呢一個 reflection 嘅話咧，咁就係呢一個 x coordinate 係轉咗嘅，得唔得？OK，so now we finish exercise 12.